So speaking of the Noble Eightfold Path, we have to mention the 8 elements of the path. And the first element we have spoken of this morning is right view. Right view is the kind of view that is free from all wrong views. Wrong views born from notions like being, non-being, birth and death, coming, going, sameness, otherness, and so on. And right view is a kind of insight that helps us to be liberated from all kind of discrimination, dualism. We are no longer caught between left and right, above and below, white and black, inside and outside, creator and creature, and so on. We remove all pairs of opposite. And this is the ultimate truth. And sometimes it's called nirvana, sometimes it's called mahaprajna paramita, the great insight that has the power to transport us to the other shore, the shore of freedom. And if basing on right view, non-discrimination, non-separation, non-dualistic, non-dualism, and then we can practice right thinking. Right thinking is the kind of thinking that goes along the line of right view. No discrimination, no separation. You are in me, I am in you. There is no discrimination whatsoever. And all of us know a lot of suffering has been created on the basis of discrimination. Religious discrimination, racial discrimination, and all kinds of discrimination. And we have to practice in order to help remove discrimination in the mind of people. Right thinking is thinking, the kind of thinking that produces understanding and compassion. And we can at any time produce a thought in the line of right thinking. A thought that is free from discrimination. A thought that is full of understanding and compassion. And as a practitioner, we can produce a thought like that several times a day. As soon as you are able to create, to produce a thought of reconciliation, of compassion, of understanding, that thought begins to heal us and heal the world. Right thinking can heal the world, can save the world. And wrong thinking can destroy the world. Wrong thinking can lead to suicide, can lead to terrorism, and so on. So if we cultivate the right view, and then our thinking will be right thinking. Suppose we produce a thought of anger, of fear, of hate, of despair. That's not good for our health. If we keep producing thoughts of hate, fear, despair, it will destroy our body, our mind, and destroy the world. That is why, as good practitioner, we have to cultivate the practice of right thinking. Our thought should be characterized by non-discrimination, mutual understanding and compassion. We understand the suffering inside, we understand the suffering of the other person, of the world, and from there compassion arises. And thinking like that is very healing. And we need a teacher, we need fellow practitioners in order to support us, to guide us in the practice of right thinking. Right thinking can change the world, can save the world. And then with the foundation of right view, we can practice right speech. Anything we say has the power to inspire people, to restore faith, to restore communication, to reconcile, to help people feel better, to show the way. That is the right, the kind of speech that we practice. Right speech, loving speech, goes along with compassionate listening. That is the object of the fourth mindfulness training. Many of us have received the 5 trainings this morning, and the fourth is about the practice of right speech and deep listening. The practice of right speech and deep listening help us restore communication and reconcile. A few days of practice can already help. When we are able to see the suffering in the other person, when we have the intention to help him or her suffer less, and then we are already ready to practice deep listening and loving speech in order to restore communication and to reconcile. The miracle of reconciliation always takes place in our retreats. When we write a letter, when we send an email, when we use our mobile phone, we can very well practice right speech. It can create, it can restore communication, it can inspire people, it can make a person happy right away. Darling, I'm here for you. Darling, I know you are there. That makes me very happy. Darling, I know that you are difficulties. I'm here for you. All these kind of practice can help bring relief and healing. So as a good practitioner, we are able to practice loving speech several times a day. It does not cost anything. It can restore communication. It can make a person happy right away. Be generous, because the other person has good seeds in him or her. And if you recognize the good seeds in him or her, they will become a happy person. And you will profit from his or her happiness. Effect come very quickly. And then with right view, we can practice right action. Action here is physical bodily action. Anything we do with our body that can support, that can protect, that can save is right action. Because we are motivated by non-discrimination, by understanding and compassion, everything we do will be right action. And a good practitioner can perform many right actions during the day, even saving an ant, refraining from using the kind of product that is polluting. That's all good action. And these three practice, one about mind, one about speech, mouth, and one about body, are three forms of actions. To think is already to act. When you produce a thought of compassion, a thought of understanding, reconciliation, it begins to heal you and help heal the world. And if you keep producing thought like that, you send your life, you send the world in a good direction. But if by mistake you have produced a thought of hate and anger, mindfulness will help you to recognize that. Suppose yesterday I produced a thought of discrimination or anger. And today during meditation, sitting meditation, I recognize that it's not a good action. So I sit down and I concentrate and I produce another thought. A thought in the opposite direction. I said, sorry, I did not mean to produce that thought yesterday, but because I am not very mindful. So today I produce this thought full of non-discrimination, compassion. And as soon as you produce the new thought, it will erase, delete the other thought. That's the transformation. You can change the past. You can change even the past. You can prepare for the future. Yesterday we told a story of a war veteran who killed children in Vietnam, and he suffered. But later on, he was told that he can use his life in order to save many children in the future. So he was able, by this kind of practice, remove the complex of guilt and get back the joy of living. Because actually he can help save many children from dying. So thinking is already action. Speaking is already action. Speaking well can promote peace, reconciliation. And three kinds of actions: mind, mouth, speech, and body, is what we produce every day. Suppose we look at the orange tree in the backyard. The orange tree produces what? Beautiful orange leaves. She produces beautiful orange blossom. She produces beautiful oranges. And we do the same. As a good practitioner, we can produce beautiful thought, beautiful speech, and beautiful action. And that is our continuation. Action, our action, we are our action. Like blowing is the action of the wind. And falling is the action of the rain. And it is very clear that we are our action. There is a French philosopher. His name is Jean-Paul Sartre. And he said something like, man is the sum of his action. Definition of man. Man is what? What is man? Man is the totality of his action. And action has three aspects: what you think, what you say, and what you do. And the Sanskrit word for action is karma. When you produce an action, that is your continuation. And when this body disintegrates, you continue always with your action. Nothing is lost. We have learned about the law of conservation of matter. We know that matter, you cannot create new matter, you cannot destroy matter. And also the law of conservation of energy. You cannot create new energy. You cannot destroy energy. You can transfer energy. So nothing is lost. And the French scientist Lavoisier said, nothing is born, nothing dies. Rien ne se crée, rien ne se perd. Very close to the Heart Sutra. He did not. He was not a Buddhist, but he did practice looking deeply into reality, and he found the same thing. Nothing is created. Nothing is destroyed. Very close to the removal of the notion of birth and death, being and non-being. It's possible that scientists and Buddhist practitioners working together, they will support each other. So everything we produce in terms of thought, speech, and action will continue with us. Don't imagine that they will disappear. No. Every thought that you produce has your signature. You cannot say, it's not my thought. Everything you say carries your signature. You are the author. And that is your continuation. So when you see this body of mine disintegrate, don't think that Thầy is no longer there. Thầy is still there in his new forms. And look at his actions. His action continues him. So all of us should see that we do not end at all with the disintegration of this body. We continue always, more or less beautifully. It depends on how we practice. So to produce is a karma hetu, the cause, karma cause. Karma cause. And to ripe the fruit is called karma fruit. And sometimes we don't need to wait very long. The cause bring the effect right away. As soon as you say something nice, kind, forgiving, you feel wonderful, and the other person feel wonderful also. So the cause and the effect can go together very quickly. To believe that a cloud can die, a cloud can pass from being into non-being, is not the truth. It's not scientific either. So to believe that we will die and become no one is also wrong thinking. wrong view. We continue always. And it is with the practice, it is possible to continue beautifully. And if you can, my friends, if you can keep your bodhicitta, your beginner's mind alive, surely you will make your future much more beautiful for you and for others.